Welcome to this day one of the Letting Go and Living series. My name is Jackie McDonald, and we are going to be talking today about loss and losing people you love in your life. So grief through whether it's a death or a separation in a relationship or a breakup or just people going their separate ways. It is a sensitive time. So my dear friend Haley Yarish and I have teamed up to share with you our personal journeys around letting go and how to make that process more peaceful, because lots of times we put pressure on ourselves to be somewhere that we're not. We put pressure on ourselves to let go quicker than we're ready for. And her and I both have had some pretty intimate experiences around this topic. We both lost our dads 3 years ago, almost to the date. And we actually didn't really know each other then, but through doing this healing work, we've ended up coming together, and we wanted to share some of this process with you all. So, yay, Haley, welcome, you're here.
Hey.
And hello, Debbie.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Welcome everybody that's joining us live. Thank you for spending a few minutes with us tonight around this somewhat sensitive topic. So, Haley, do you want to just start by sharing a little bit with everyone who you are and what got you on this sort of healing journey?
Mm-hmm. So I am a registered counselor and certified life coach, and my healing journey began a few years ago when I was constantly in the go, go, go busyness of life, when I was unwilling to slow down, when I thought self-care was not important, and life kind of took a turn, and with a series of events, I was forced to slow down and really look within myself to start healing these parts of myself.
Yeah, and it's interesting because we didn't really know each other then, but we had sort of back to back. I know the year that I had Mira, there was a lot of loss in our life as well. And today we wanted to talk about how we've turned our pain into our power. And I know for you and I both, after our dads died, it was like for me anyway, it was like someone flicked a switch and I got very purposeful about my life and what I wanted and what I didn't want. Was that sort of similar for you?
Yeah, for me it took a while. I think I didn't really deal with the loss of my dad immediately after he passed. I was so busy, and I at first kept myself busy and trying to avoid dealing with the loss of all the things that I had lost around that time of my life. So when I really was forced to slow down, and then when I really did take time to turn in and slow down, I did find the power in healing that piece of me and connecting to him in a different way. And then that propelled me forward and got me excited about what comes after loss and how that can really help us move forward.
It's kind of the journey, right? Like I know lots of times in my experience, lots of people said to me like, oh, you're so strong. And I don't know if any of you joining us identify with this conversation around loss, but people calling you the strong one and the one that looks like it has it all together. And that, I mean, that was me. I felt quite peaceful with the process, but there does come a space and time where we need to process in our own way. And it's definitely, I know as ambitious women, like we're always external things like achievement and hitting our goals and hitting the mark, but there definitely comes a point where we have to tune in and look at our inner world. And what we can discover is really powerful and really healing on many different levels, but that can be sort of a delicate space to go into, to venture into. So Haley and I have actually decided to come together on this topic to help people who are navigating through letting go, and whether that's in a relationship or through death. So I don't know, Haley, this might be putting on the spot a little bit, but if you were to sit down with someone who is in this space right now, maybe their relationship just ended and they're feeling a lot of fear, what would you want them to know?
I would want them to know that, on the other side of that fear is so much possibility, and there's so much potential there when we move through that fear and discover what's on the other side. There's so much waiting for us.
I froze for a minute.
Oh. Is it okay?
You're back. You're good.
Okay. What was I saying? There's so much waiting for us on the other side of fear. So when we're able to release the things that are holding us back or that we're scared of, we are able to move forward into into the unknown, but it can also be super exciting and a really beautiful process when we can get there.
Yeah, I think that that like it rings a bell for me, because lots of times people think the unknown equals fear and just like a scary place, and that we're completely out of control. And like that word surrender, like learning to let go a little bit and really learn to know ourselves better, because when we know ourselves better, we can trust life a little bit more. And one of my favorite quotes that I heard during my process was, someone said that their purpose was to be a pencil in God's hand. I think that's a Mother Teresa quote, but I feel like when you're in that stage, it's literally like that, like just taking it step by step and allowing yourself to really be gentle and guided as you move through this. So we wanted to talk about some of the topics that we're going to cover around this conversation. And the first one is to honor the part of us that doesn't want to let go. And this, you guys can give us some thumbs up or some hearts if that's true for you too. You know, you need to let go of this person, or you know that you have to face what happened, but it's okay that there's a part of you that just doesn't want to. There's a part of you that doesn't want to move on, that doesn't want to let go of it. And that by acknowledging that part of us, it really can set you free, that you don't have to be somewhere that you're not. Is there something you wanted to add to that, Haley?
Yeah, I think that that's an important piece, because there's often, like for me, I was always telling myself, yeah, like I'm over it, I'm letting go. And in that, I realized that I wasn't. Like there was a part of, and once I recognized the part of me that didn't want to let go was when I was able to begin the letting go process. I had to recognize it first, because otherwise it's just kind of feeling like, yeah, I'm letting it go, but it's just kidding. No,
you hear it in relationships all the time when girls are like, oh yeah, like I've totally let him go. Like, I don't even talk about that. Let's not even talk about that. Like I've totally let him go. And it's like we put pressure on ourselves, or we judge ourselves to be farther ahead. And so that's the first thing we wanted to talk about, is to really have compassion for yourself. If there's a part of you that's still holding on, whether it's holding on to pain or sadness or attachment, like, well, we don't know who we are without this person. And that is a really, that this is a normal part of the process, and that you don't have to try to jump ahead. The other topic that we wanted to talk about was navigating the new normal. Can you explain what that was like for you, Haley, after, going through something really unexpected?
Yeah, it was almost like when you go through a significant loss, it kind of feels like your whole world stops and everything changes around you. And eventually, and it becomes a point where, in that week after, or those couple weeks after, things are able to stop and kind of slow down, but eventually the world keeps turning, and you kind of have to like jump back in there. Kind of reminds me of like Double Dutch, when you're just like getting ready to like, okay, am I ready to like go back into this cycle and of what life is. So figuring out now where you fit in with this like new idea of what life means to you, because after loss, it really changes things and your outlook and your perspective on life.
Yeah, and I think once again, like judgment comes up a lot around this conversation. Not like people say, well, waiting for things to get back to normal, or things back to normal yet. And I know this is true for people that struggle, that are sick with illness as well. It's like you never just get back to normal. There's a new version of what normal looks like, and it's probably a little bit slower. It's probably not as fast paced as the rest of the world. And to have conversation around this topic, so people don't feel so separate or alone, because grief can be really lonely. You can feel like nobody understands me, or when is this going to end? So just what does the new normal need to look like for you? How can you feel as safe and as comfortable in this process? And that's part of what this series that Haley and I have put together is, cultivating connection with yourself and your loved ones, and the people around you after you've passed, because you are still connected, whether or not you can see someone or not. You still have love. Love never dies is one of my favorite quotes. You still have love there. And I think that people having the permission to honor that process is just really important. So the other part we wanted to talk about was how you can use loss to fuel your future. So do you want to share that, how that was for you, Haley?
Yeah, I think for me, like really connecting, especially to my dad, I think that especially his 3-year anniversary has just passed last week, and I really did some reflecting and connecting on who he was to me and what that relationship meant to me then and what that relationship means to me now, and how that connection and his belief in me and we had talked about, like, we feel our dad's spirit alive within us, and that really just makes us want to live bigger and chase our dreams, and to really, like, not take anything for granted.
Yeah.
To really go after.
I know last night I boxered Haley because I was watching This Is Us. I don't know if any of you out here are watching This Is Us, but if you have lost someone, especially a dad, that show will get you real good. And
in the field.
Oh man, I was like bawling my eyes out, and because it made me realize that the tragedy and the magic of loss, because there is weird things that happen after loss that have made me feel more connected to my dad. And especially if there's any uncomfortable feelings before someone's passed, like if there was any drama or traumatic things that happened, like loss does heal that, and it helps you really focus on the connection that you did have and that you do still have, and using that to fuel your fire. And that's what Haley and I have in common, is that we both have had big visions and big dreams, and that our dads were people who believed in us, as well as our moms, but we definitely have used that fire to inspire us to move forward. And that's what we're helping to help people get to in this process of letting go, because there's definitely, like we said, the part of you that doesn't want to let go, the part of you that's learning to navigate the new normal, and then the part of you that's ready to really make the most of life. So we're curating this beautiful group for people that are experiencing this right now, that are ready to feel that emotional freedom again, to feel that connection again, to feel like they can quote unquote be in control of their life again. So is there anything you wanted to add to that, Haley?
No, I just think that, like, even you saying that brings emotions up for me, because I just feel like so passionate about it and feel so connected to this process and this journey. And I think that it's so important for us to have the space to be able to work through these emotions. And because, like, grieving or loss isn't like a linear journey, right? Like, there's going to be ups and downs. Even when we grieve a relationship, it's like, oh, I think I'm over him. And then it's like, oh, just kidding, I'm not. And we go through this thing, like, it's up and down like this. So having support in those moments, and knowing that there's people who have been through the same thing, there's people there supporting you, and there's people before and after you who are going to go through it as well,
and
has been really important.
And I think of some of the beautiful exercises that you and I have done together, and that we're going to be teaching in this course, is dealing with the things left unsaid, especially if you've broken up with someone, you didn't see it coming, or you've lost someone and it was like totally unexpected. There's so much that we're like, oh, I wish I would have said that. And so I'm really excited to teach what I know, my healing modality and EFT, around getting to actually express that and say what you didn't get to say. And I had an experience last Monday with a client who is actually, she's battling cancer right now. I call her a cancer thriver because she is a rock star. And she didn't realize how much of this weighed on her body. We hold onto grief in our body. We hear that, but we don't always identify it with ourselves, or we don't know how we hold on to it. And so we released it, and it's like her entire being is different. Like her healing has ramped up. Her voice is different. Her husband's like, I have my wife back. And so when we get to do these things, like heal the things left unsaid, or just even miss the person, have space to miss them, it will affect your relationships. It will affect your business. It'll affect your healing. It'll affect your whole life. So we're really excited to hold space for this and to make it affordable and accessible to everybody. So we are going to be coming on each day this week. We're going to be sharing on different topics around loss, letting go, and living big. And if you guys want to check out this program, it's at jackiemcdonald.ca/letting go. I just tried to pull it up before and there was something wrong with the link. So I'm going to share it with you guys as soon as this is done. I'll fix it up. And then I think should we give everyone a quick sneak peek of what it looks like?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to flip my camera. Loading. Okay. So it's called Letting Go and Living, a 6-week guided course to support you in letting go and navigating loss so you can turn your pain into your power, ignite the fire within, and experience more freedom, love, and connection. Because that's what Haley and I are all about. Freedom, love, and connection. So you guys, I will post the link below. You can check it out. And week 1, it's about honoring that part of you that doesn't want to let go. Week 2 is identifying and dealing with pain from the past and releasing it. So there's going to be a mix of EFT and meditation and Haley's amazing coaching and counseling. Then week 4 is navigating the new normal. Week 5, turning your pain into your power. And then week 6 is planting the visions for your future, which is some of my favorite work. So we will post that below. You guys can check it out and look out for us tomorrow. This is all the pricing as well. It's $5.95 for 6 weeks with 2 powerhouse women, and just support people in this way so that letting go can be a peaceful process and that they can reclaim their power as quick as possible. Yay, looking forward to this. I really miss my twin. Yes, Debbie, we've had some beautiful healing work together too, so I'm really excited to share this with you. Is there anything else you want to say, Haley, before we wrap up?
I'm just excited to have this conversation with you and with so many other people, because I know that it's just great to have a space where we can talk about our loved ones that we've lost and it's nice when there's somebody who is on the other side of it who understands what you've been through. Because there's really, I mean, my question to you last week on the anniversary of your dad's passing was like, what do you miss about him? That's sometimes all we need to hear. And if you guys, anyone watching is experiencing that, feel free to message us and just share what you miss about the people that you loved in the past. And we're happy to start getting to honor their memory, and what we love and miss about them is just, it's so nice to have that space.
Exactly.
To talk about whatever it is.
Yeah, to talk and to acknowledge how much they still are alive within us. So
absolutely.
Thank you for being with us, everybody. And we look forward to tomorrow's topic. We're probably going to be talking about one of the 6 weeks, but we will post that tomorrow to let you know. Probably same time, same place. Hey, Haley? Yeah. Just listening to you girls relate and bounce off each other is so healing for me. Oh, thank you, Claire. We love conversations. So there's going to be a lot more juicy topics to come. So look out. All right. Love you, everyone. And we'll see you all tomorrow. Thanks for all the hearts. Bye.